In those periods of despair, I had to choose to believe God and trust in His promises rather than trust my feelings. Let me just say something, yeah, when we're going through our trials, our suffering, when we're having a difficult time, when we're going through despair, sadness, whatever, we have to choose to trust God, you know, believe in God and know that He's going to bring us through, that He's with us, that He's never left us, that He's never forsaken us, and He never will. We have to believe in that. We have to keep our faith in Him with that, and trust in His promises. If God's promised it, it will be, plain and simple as that. Even if it doesn't come right away, it will later. Trust in His promises rather than trust my feelings. Here's the thing with our feelings. I've made videos on this subject before. Yes, God does give us feelings. It's not that, He doesn't. But the thing is, so does the devil. And, we need to discern between them. And I'll tell you something. When you run on your feelings alone, you're putting yourself in a very dangerous space. Because you can misjudge, misunderstand. I used to largely do that. Before I was saved, I always thought, every feeling came from God. And then they do, and some do. I'm not saying they all don't, but here's the thing. When you run strictly on feelings, let me tell you what happened to me. I started to get paranoid all the time, because I was putting trust in myself to get through everything, Again, that was before I was saved, but I ran largely off my own feelings. And no wonder it led to such paranoia, anxiety, everything else, because you can't just run off your own feelings, You got to trust in God, who never changes, rather than in your feelings, who change rather frequently, and discern, like I said, between them to make sure they're of God, and not from the other one, That's a big thing, guys, and listen, I'm guilty too, we all get wrapped up in them. And you know what happens when we get wrapped up in them? Many times we crash and burn. We do things we regret. We say things we regret, getting wrapped up, because we have not trusted in God to bring us through. I hope this helps somebody. I love you. You have a blessed day.